Hey, this is Matt Wenning at WenningStrength.com, and we get a lot of questions of different playlists and different songs and artists that we like to train to. So I thought what we would do today is we'd shoot a video on some of my favorite artists to train to. So as you know by watching a lot of my Instagram videos, I'm all over the map with different types of music. But I will give you some of my favorite artists that I listen to train. Now, if I'm warming up, I like a lot of slow gangster rap, so I'll listen to Scarface, Ghetto Boys, which Scarface is included. I love 8 Ball and MJG. I'm a big Southern rap guy. I also like West Coast stuff too, but not quite as much. Now, as far as California rap goes, I'm a huge Northern California fan. I love the Bay Area. Too Short. I mean, you can't go wrong with him. He's probably one of the longest lasting rappers to ever live. Especially some of his new stuff that got more club-like beat, like Blow the Whistle, and a lot of those other songs are really awesome. Now you go down into the LA scene, man, I was a huge fan of NWA, huge fan of Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, all the dudes from Long Beach, Compton area. That music had so much passion and power because of all the stuff they were going through at that time. Police brutality, riots. LA, everybody thinks LA is this really nice, great area, and it is now, but you go back to like downtown LA and southern LA like 30 years ago, man, that was a war zone, and the music portrayed that and you could feel it. So for me, like early 90s rap is the best rap. When I'm doing the max effort lifts, Godsmack is like one of my big go-tos, okay? I love the first 2 albums of Godsmack. I am an original 80s baby, so going back to hair metal is huge. So I love Rat. I could listen to Rat every training session. I could listen to Motley Crue, old Motley Crue, pre-Girls, Girls, Girls. Pantera is one if I'm hitting a max. But what I find is that if I'm trying to relax and focus on the muscle tissue, that I need something that is intensive but is kind of chill. And if I'm doing something that's aggressive, like a 1 rep max, or I'm going for a big PR, the music tone changes. So I like to have stuff that focuses. So I'm a massive fan of Slayer, but for me personally, Slayer is just almost too rough for me to hit maxes too. Obviously, you can't go wrong with Metallica, especially pre-Black. So a lot of those songs on the Black album, Master of Puppets is probably my favorite album in the Metallica whole library. I could literally listen to Metallica Master of Puppets from front song to back song completely through. That's definitely one. Zakk Wylde and Black Label Society, that is definitely a solid rip. Black Label Society and Zakk Wylde, in my opinion, Zakk Wylde is the greatest guitar player of all time. If I'm going to cruise in a car and just chill, Zakk Wylde, Book of Shadows is probably one of the best albums ever made. So if you don't have that album and you're into rock or alternative, you definitely want to get that. Ozzy Osbourne, you really can't beat him. He is one of those other lifelong legends. So if you really listen to a lot of my playlists and a lot of the people that I talk about, their career was multiple decades. And I think that says something. For me, I like music that stands the test of time. So if you listen to Ozzy, his stuff from the 80s could be played and released today and still do really well. Like Mama, I'm Coming Home, and a lot of those big hits off of that particular album are huge. Now, again, because in my teens, I was a huge fan of the grunge scene. So I love old school Soundgarden, and I'm a massive fan of Alice in Chains and Lane Staley. I would say that Soundgarden, lead singer, and Lane Staley from Alice in Chains are probably my 2 favorite rock singers just because of their pitch, their vocal pitch, how far they can go high or low. Their lyric content was so amazing in that day. Obviously, you got to give your props to Eddie Vedder at Pearl Jam. He was awesome too. They did a lot of really cool stuff. So one of those bands that was pre-Pearl Jam that had almost all the Pearl Jam members in it, but Eddie Vedder, was Mother Love Bone. Those albums are amazing. And if you listen to old school Soundgarden and Alice in Chains, they actually give a lot of props to Mother Love Bone. I'm kind of stuck between, I'd say, 2005 and 1985. That's my 20-year genre, and that's what I like. So why don't you go down to the comments and post what you like, some of your favorite bands. Let's see if we share some similarities, and maybe you guys will show me some new artists that I haven't heard and that I would want to listen to in the gym.